Greetings, web designers. So for your assignment, you're also asked to change a CSS with JavaScript. And I just wanted to quickly go over a web example for you to see what all the bits are to change CSS with JavaScript. So the long string that we use to call elements by ID, we begin with the same document invocation that we start with in our use of inner HTML and replacing text and all of these things that we did in class last week. And again, we get elements by their IDs. So here we have our CSS that we are changing. So we invoke the document. We then narrow it down to getting the elements by their ID. The ID of the element we're acting upon in this case is P2. And then rather than say inner HTML, for example, to go into the style, we just say .style. So that's how we call the style aspect of a element, and then we add another dot, and then we basically write the CSS that we want to have. So this part of our JavaScript is the same as if we wrote here. If I remove style, put it there, then I would have an equals and 2 quotes, and I would put this in here, right? And then let me just comment this out. And if I rerun it, oh, I should remove these quotes around blue. We would write it normally the way we do in CSS. And here we go, it is blue again. So if we then have this document, get element by ID, P2, that's this one right here, dot style, dot color equals blue. And you can see the syntax is a little different. So we have our blue is in quotation marks, whereas everything down to the actual value that we're changing is in this like appending via dots string. So that's different from here, but it's the same. You can see it's the same words even. Style color blue, style color blue. So that in essence is changing CSS with JavaScript. So let's annotate what we're doing here, just so we understand it more easily. So I'm going to remove everything that we don't need. Let's keep it at its most basic. So we'll remove this. So all we have is a paragraph on this page that says hello world with ID of P2. And here we have all of our scripting. So if we take this and comment it out, you will see that there should be nothing happening. That's the default. And this is with the script. So here we can say unstyled P elements in HTML. And then telling JavaScript to look at the document, get element with ID P2, get its yes, no apostrophe, its style tag, which isn't written out above, but the JavaScript writes it out. It generates it. And then look at the color and set it to blue. There we go. So that's, and then we can say we can get rid of this just to keep it simple, and then so this would be the same thing, telling JavaScript to look at the document, get the element with ID p2, get its style tag, look at the font family instead, and set it to, yeah. And we can say cursive. Okay, so that is changing CSS with JavaScript DOM.